Siri is really, really like ahead of its time.
What is
in terms
Siri?
of it's
So
a voice recognition software.
Okay.
There's like you say like I want a bagel, and it tells you where like the bagel shops are. And but then they spend a lot of time, and then like the joke is Siri has this attitude because people are inevitably gonna just start swearing at Siri, and then there's things like, oh, like you say to Siri, you're like, what are you wearing? And they anticipate that, and it says, oh, I'm wearing, and he says whatever his like casing is made out of, and then he goes, how's that sound to you? And you're like, Siri, I'm horny, and he'll go like, here's where the escort services are. There's a website called Things My Siri Says. It's just full of people like that trying to get in fights with Siri, trying to seduce Siri, and there's like programmed reactions.
Yeah,
already.
Yeah,
wow, that's.
But it's crazy. Like, I'm impressed. Like, I have an iPhone 4, and I call it my future phone because I'm just amazed. Because when you said before, like, don't ask Steve Jobs wouldn't ask consumers. They just say what I want, but faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked me, what do you want your phone to do? I don't know what's reasonable. You know, I've been like, I would say just faster. I'm amazed, and someone could easily laugh at me for this, but I'll just put in an address, and I'll like, tell me how to get there on the bus. I don't have to go see Transfill's website. That's amazing. So you got rid of that intermediary. So it's like Siri gets rid of Google for you. You just ask it anything.
It's going to be amazing to see where they go, how they like our children may have iPhones and they're going to think, and their thoughts will come up on their iPhone. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I was
connecting teleportation.
This was last night when I was drunk and trying to get back from the bar. But I was like, I just like wanted to know what I want. Don't make me put my finger anywhere because it's not going to happen. But I was like, that's like. But then in my head, like, what's reasonable? But then I said, like, that's reasonable for me to be like, just follow, because like. You know, you can follow someone's eye movements, right? You can tell exactly where they were looking on a picture. I'm like, just know that I want to search. Just like, come with me.
Pizza and taxi.
Oh my god, I would love to just look at my phone and be like, I want food, and they would just like give me like an arrow to walk towards, and I'd just be like, oh okay. And then it
almost does that. Like iPhone 4 tells you what way you're facing in the street.
Right? Yeah. But like I just want to say food, not like pizza, Chinese, just food. And I wanted to like go through all the food searches I've done and be like, this guy loves Chinese food. Yeah. What's the best Chinese restaurant
that's open too? When that's gonna like that's open at 4 a.m. in the morning. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Post bar
food. I would love it if we could just do that.
No, but that's not so reasonable. Like what would be the next level is like then that restaurant gets a notification like, hey, this like male 24 years old is coming to you.
Yeah.
Like, this is what he likes. Be ready.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Although I think there's like a limit there.
No, don't tell me. I have my future plan.
Well, what if this restaurant is like preparing your food, and then you're like, actually, I didn't want to eat. I changed my mind. They're like, oh, I just made all this food. What the hell?
They'll charge you by then.
Yeah.
They'll charge you to your iPhone.
Now we have to be very careful of our thoughts.
Too late. You have to have this food now.
You thought about it. You paid for it.
You bought it. Yeah. Like, oh shit.
That is the future.
So what do you guys think of the new CEO, Tim Cook?
You know, at this point, I don't know too much about Tim Cook, but I think Steve Jobs has earned that aura of, you know, if you see a little kid playing hockey and Wayne Gretzky says that kid's going to be good, it's huge. And you trust the word of someone who's very successful. So, like, because obviously that guy is there because Steve Jobs picked him. You know, he picked him to be there. So I give him that trust, you know? Like, I give the trust of everyone Mark Zuckerberg hired to work at Facebook at the beginning. Just whether or not it's a good decision, you know, anything Warren Buffett says now, he can, you know, swing the market any way he wants just by his comments sometimes. Whether or not, you know, he could be completely wrong at sometimes, but because of who he is, you give him that respect, and, you know, I give Tim Cook the benefit of the doubt, 100%.
Well, one thing was really quick with Steve Jobs again. Like they said, what people were concerned about just the absence of Steve Jobs is like what is the thing they said? Like he touched everything. You know, so his taste, he enforced his taste. So that's one concern. Like Tim, like it's not gonna be the same taste. You can do what you think Steve Jobs would have want. Yeah. And then like everyone can wear these bracelets to say like what would Steve do? But like that's one concern. It's not going to look like the same type of Apple products.
Yeah, I do think they need to have that taste factor that Steve Jobs brought in. They have a design director that apparently is really good, but you know, it's one of those people in the background. You're never too sure how much he was responsible for, like in terms of looks and design, and how much Steve Jobs was personally responsible for. That's the thing too with Steve Jobs. I think almost there's there's probably too many things that are credited to Steve Jobs.
I was thinking, what's myth from fact in this situation?
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
Basically, you said yes, it's good, which any like CEO would do, but who knows?
It's been like interesting to see like Apple in the last like 10 years, because they used to be like the underdog, you know. They used to just be like this geek thing, you know. It was seriously I thought Apple was always cool, the Mac Pro was cool, but I always just associated them with this nerd culture.
Yeah.
And then to just see them just go into the mainstream and be very successful.
Yeah. To have a MacBook is really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
And to have to talk about like their phone cameras, like their iPhone 4 had a 5 megapixel, and everyone raved about that camera. But like there were so many phones, like Sony phones and other ones, Samsung, which had 8 megapixel, 12 megapixel, a real flash.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my god, 5 megapixel on the iPhone. These photos are awesome. You know? I was like, but there's so many other alternatives. Like that's just power. That's respect that they can, and they'll slowly release out the upgrades because they can. They could put out 12 megapixel tomorrow, but why? They don't. There's no need.